Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Let's continue into the trial of Iris, or I guess if you missed last episode this will be a spoiler, but yeah, Dahlia. Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness? Yes, how can I help you, Mr. Judge? Well, it seems that if we're to learn the truth, we'll need to hear your testimony. I have no problem with that. But when you've seen what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown. In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried out that night. Is she gonna say that Pearl summoned her? And we're gonna have to put Pearl on trial? Is that what this is? The whole plan began with my death. A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fey to install her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Maya Fey would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway. So that means you really are. Wait a minute. Did you just say the plan was to kill Maya Fey? Yes, you have a problem with that? Don't give us that nonsense. There's no way that... Watch yourself, trite. If you've got a problem, solve it during cross-examination. That's one of my rules. Mr. Godot is correct, and by the way, that's one of my rules as well. To kill Maya. Could it be true? Because here's the thing. Iris didn't know that Elise was Misty. But did Dahlia? Or Morgan? The whole plan began with my death. The stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fey to install her own daughter as the next master. But we have this. Okay, no, it does make sense. It does make sense for them to go after Maya if they believed that Misty was dead. Start pressing. You're talking about Pearl Fey, is that correct? Yes, though at first she had high hopes for the two of us. You and your twin sister Iris. That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father. Abandoned? The only person I ever really cared about in life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple. You mean Iris? Yes. My father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general. Horrible. The really horrible one was that woman. That bitter, vengeful woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Fey. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power, unfortunately for her. Morgan Fey heaped all of her broken hopes and dreams onto that poor child's back. All because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family. You were going to kill Maya? Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. Then I would have simply used her body and finished the job. In any case, I'm already dead, and there's nothing you can do to me. The plan was to blame the crime on your younger twin, on Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally they would think it was Iris that had done it. And the witness in this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini. I never would have guessed she was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night.
But she wound up seeing Iris's crime anyway.
Why'd you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's your twin sister, isn't she?
Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her.
Backstabber?
You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway.
You think the plan was a success?
You heard me. Just as that woman had hoped. My Fey is dead. Now the title of Master will pass on to Pearl Fey.
Objection!
That's absurd. She's just trapped inside the sacred cavern.
Really? You're as foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you, my dear darling Feeny? Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've despised you. Your sniveling naivete and your pathetic faith in other people.
I can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. I've got to keep a cool head. And I need to get more information out of her. It's the only way to understand this plan and what she was after as well. Okay, so we've pressed this. Press this, press that. Okay, so we're just gonna have to press everything. You were executed last month, correct?
Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant.
How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fey?
Last year, she was transferred to the same detention center as me, since I was on death row and she was my mother. It was actually pretty easy to meet with her.
I see. So that's when you discussed the plan.
Are you crazy? At first, that woman was planning to kill me as well, even though I'm her own daughter.
I ought to make Pearl Fey the master of Kurain.
She's a cold, twisted woman. She thought she could finally regain her lost honor, the honor she lost when her younger sister Misty, goddamn, took her place as the master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan.
Plan, huh? Maya would have to die, but why?
For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master. The remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of.
Wait, did they also kill Mia, or is Mia just like a unfortunate circumstance and a further thing?
Objection!
The Pearls would never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya.
How sad. You still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That's all.
That's ridiculous.
She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of her daughter. And naturally, the life of Maya Fey as well.
How could anyone do that? She already tried to frame Maya for murder once. Why do you think that she wouldn't immediately just be like, oh, okay, let's just kill her this time, instead of just framing her? I just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Fey's plan?
I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point, no value, other than fulfilling her own greedy desires. Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of.
If that's how you feel, why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya?
You may not understand it. Being the kind of gentle soul that you are, you may not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that.
So then tell me, why?
Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The reason I helped her was for myself. For my own personal satisfaction.
What did you say? So this woman, Dahlia Hawthorne, she had her own reason for wanting Maya dead. You understand? Okay, I'm trying to figure out what... Because I'm wondering if... Like, there is a possibility that, like, she just hated... Like... Let's press it anyways. Obviously, it's because you were helping Morgan Fey.
Helping? Don't make me laugh. From the day I was born to the day I died, I never helped anyone. I lived for myself, and in the end, I died for myself. I thought that was obvious.
But she wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan. She was just using Morgan and her plan so she could accomplish her own goal.
All I wanted to do was kill my Fey. That was the only way I could think of to get revenge.
Is it against us and Mia? Because we're the reason that Dahlia died. Revenge. It looks like I have no choice but to present that piece of evidence. I can't believe it. She meant to kill Maya. I've got to keep it... Yep, okay, we've already talked about this. I wonder if it's this. The fact that Mia... That's what I'm wondering. Because we don't really have anything else. Because... Okay, this is kind of what I'm thinking. Is she could get back at not only Phoenix, but also Mia. That's kind of the thing that I'm getting at, but I don't know if we necessarily have the evidence. Okay, so I was right. Sometimes I always am like, okay, what piece of evidence do we have? But revenge for killing Maya would not only screw over us, who helped put Dahlia in prison, but the defense attorney who put her there. On 2 different occasions. Mia.
Objection!
Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Maya Fey herself?
As I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore, because I'm already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead, and you can't take revenge against them either.
You wanted to take revenge on someone?
I was sentenced to die because of that woman, Mia Fey.
Somehow knew it. This was it.
I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up.
And the reason it was impossible was perhaps because Mia Fey had already died.
Yes, and I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead.
And how do you do that?
Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. I wanted to take the person that Mia Fey loved most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. That would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped with that woman's plans.
Just for that. For that you would kill Maya. Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fey. As they say, the apple doesn't fall from the tree. What a cruel plan, cruel, cold, and heartless.
Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me. That night, At about 9:30, I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up and put on a demon warden hood. Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple.
So, it was Elise Deauxnim who channeled her after all.
And that ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing. She left my Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back clutching her poor old back.
What did you do then?
That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern, then I took out the dagger I got from the storeroom and...
So then you're saying you stabbed Maya?
It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that.
What does that mean? No clear memory.
I don't know. I think I was stabbed.
You were stabbed?
At the last minute, my Fey must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it.
Objection!
That's not like her at all. Maya wouldn't stab a french fry with a plastic fork.
Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness, but before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back.
She was stabbed in the back, not in the stomach.
I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her.
I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end.
And that's where my memory temporarily stops.
It stops.
I don't have any memory of actually killing my Fey with my own two hands. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern surrounded by darkness.
You were in the sacred cavern.
The entrance was sealed with only one of those trick locks. Somehow I had been trapped in there.
How did you wind up in there?
I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not my Fey was dead, and I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself.
For a ghost, you're one tough cookie.
I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out.
Trick lock stopped you, huh? Wait, okay. So now I have a new theory. Misty was able to, like... I wonder if Misty was able to do it herself. I mean, there's also the whole presumption that, like, ghosts can, like, actually commit murders. In which I can see Mia doing it, because again, she was stabbed in the back, but everything makes it sound like if Maya had done it, Maya would have been face to face. Wait, wasn't there something that we were gonna get the sword examined, but like the staff was like yeeted to the side? We also still have the issue that there were two people. Like there had to have been two people working. Oh goodness, there's so much.
I didn't know how to remove it.
So then you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside the sacred cavern?
Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible. And it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it.
Interrupted?
It was early in the morning, but someone came into the training hall.
What? Who? Could it have been Maya?
I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see.
Why not?
If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the sacred cavern.
That morning, only two people could have gone into the training hall. Maya and Pearls. Pearls went there to cover the hanging scroll in gravy.
Still, I finally managed to remove the lock, but I was too late.
What do you mean by that?
The flies had already started to gather.
Bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct?
Naturally, I couldn't go out, so instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up.
Lady Luck.
After that big earthquake, she showed up all by herself.
The real Iris?
She said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was alright. Stupid girl. I came out from the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place. I had finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then that I learned that the plan had actually succeeded.
What do you mean your plan has succeeded?
I had misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me. I had assumed it was Pearl Fey.
Well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions.
But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was Mr. Fey, the picture book author.
What?
Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I lost consciousness in the garden, it was her body that was left lying there. My Fey. I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit.
And that is?
Matricide. The sin of killing her own mother.
No way. Order in the court. What is the meaning of this?
It's true that I was the one who attacked my Fey. But even so, the murderer who actually snuffed down Misty Fey's life was none other than your darling little Maya.
Objection!
Ridiculous. That's nonsense.
Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there?
What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence?
The fact that my Fey has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it?
Huh?
The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple, that much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be.
Where?
Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of Eagle River. Where else?
Eagle River?
My Fey killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. So, what do you have to say now, Feeny?
Oops. Sorry, that's my phone. What kind of ringtone is? I'm not gonna lie, I actually really do like that. Like, for the longest time, if you watch One Piece, you know, like, the, cut to commercials. It's, like, the Robin tone, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da, except it's, like, much more sultry than that, because I can't do that. I had that, and now I'm like, I kind of want this. I kind of like that, like, is it 8-bit or 16-bit, like, style, like, I don't know. It's just, I really do like Godot's theme. I'm not gonna lie. I do. Godot here. Okay, thanks. Was it something important? They just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern. That's great. What about Maya? There was a woman in the cave. Was it Maya Fey? was the accused, Sister Iris. Huh?
Wait! Is Dahlia in Maya's body right now? Because the whole thing is like they can it's not just when they take, like when they channel someone, they physically change. And I thought that it's always kind of, and like it was confirmed and it kind of just hit me now. It was just as always like confirmation of like, oh, okay, like when Maya becomes Mia, it's how like the player knows. But it seems like it's actually like they are physically like shape-shifting. So who's to say that like Dahlia or even Iris isn't inhabiting Maya's body right now? Because if there's two of them and Maya's body's missing, Maya has to have inhabited, one of them has to have inhabited Maya's body. Because she's the only one who is not accounted for. Sorry, I just had that realization and now I feel dumb. Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that.
So, what about Maya? Where is she? There's no one else found inside the sacred cavern. No, it can't be.
I told you, didn't I? She's dead.
No. No! I can't do like a lot of screaming, especially like I can do a normal voice, but not like, especially like more masculine ones. It definitely like dries out my throat a lot more. It seems that this case has come to an end, a tragic end. Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise Deauxnim, also known as Missy Fey, was her own daughter, Maya Fey. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fey jumped to her death in the raging waters of the Eagle River. It can't be. Oh. Right. Have you ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. No matter how improbable it may seem. What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godot? According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden. Which means if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple side, near the bridge.
That's right, that's where she jumped from. Wait! That would have been the side with the rocks! Because that was the same issue we had. Wait. I don't know which side we're on. But that was the issue with Turnabout Beginnings. Because it was like one side of it was like kind of busted. And like that was the side that like all the rocks were on. Which I'm presuming it's the same side. It's impossible to jump into the river from there.
What?
Don't get your panties all twisted up, Wright. And just relax and think through the whole thing again.
So it's impossible. Maya couldn't have thrown herself in the Eagle River. I'm thinking that Dahlia's inhabited Maya's body. Because I think Maya might have freaked out after, like, coming to the realization that it was Elise and not, you know, Dahlia or, you know, I guess she would have thought it was Iris, but someone attacking her. Dahlia would have been able to inhabit it in her body. The thing is if we have Dahlia and Iris in the same places, it can't be them switching back and forth. Someone has to have inhabited someone else's body. Maya's body is the only one that we do not have. Well, Mr. Wright, Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Fey threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim? Oh, no, not this again. The rocks would have been there. Yeah. It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows that better than this witness.
What did you say?
11 years ago, you jumped into this very same river. Just take a look at this overhead map. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf. Oh! You're right. She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we would be able to see her body in this photo. So you finally figured it out.
You! No!
Order!
You're just playing with me. Maya Fey's body is at the bottom of the Eagle River. There's nowhere else she could possibly be hiding.
Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible. She literally just heard it like 2 minutes ago, Phoenix. Whatever remains must be the truth.
Yes, just a few minutes ago.
Yes, thank you. Maya Fey wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself into the Eagle River. Correct. And eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be. What? What is this one possibility you're talking about?
That's obviously a bluff. So where is her dead body then? It's here.
Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead. But I think there's a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? I shall tell you where Maya is this very instant. She's in the courtroom. Because you've taken over her body. Because in the event that they would try to say, oh, okay, she's dead, and you don't let go of her body, you can kill her with theoretically your own hands, but also not your own hands, by getting her sentenced to death penalty, and you get to get hanged again. There's only one possibility left, namely, she's right here in this very courtroom. What? Maya Fey is here. You say she's here in my courtroom? Dahlia Hawthorne, I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see.
So what?
But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood.
What do you mean?
Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne?
Why, that's obvious. It's Pearl Fey, that pathetic little sniveling runt.
You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it.
I never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened.
Is there any explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit.
Someone called me before Pearl did, but who?
Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now, am I correct? It wasn't Pearls that channeled you. There was someone who called you before she could. This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Fey is gone. There's only one possibility left. Come on already! I can't stand the tension! Dahlia Hawthorne, the person channeling you right now, must be Maya Fey.
What?
But how could that be? Remember what this witness Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal. She said that her goal was to kill Maya Fey. Yes, that's right, but if Maya channeled the spirit of someone who was trying to kill her... Well, Gramps, what would happen? Could it be? Looks like you finally understand, Your Honor.
Well, I don't. What are you going on about?
What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. There's only one reason. To protect herself from you.
To protect herself from me?
Yes, on the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Fey. The path back to Hazakura was closed off and there was nowhere for her to run. So the problem became, where would be the safest place to hide?
You mean? That's what, when she channeled me.
All this time, you thought you had been channeled by pearls. That's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was you.
No, don't say that. You're saying that I, Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp. My Fey killed herself, isn't it obvious?
Objection!
Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the inner temple.
I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that who has never been out in the real world. She could never have come up with a plan like that. Who would have ever given her such a brilliant idea? She's been a... Mia! Was it Mia? Did Mia do this?
Well, me, of course. Mia!
Mia Fey. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. I love how Pearls just shows up. So it's true. It was you. Yes. You're something else. But what are you doing here?
That hair, it's pearls, right?
Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the inner temple's garden, and then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. I was stabbed by Maya Fey. Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you. She did.
Not terribly surprising since she was about to be killed.
When she woke up, she was in the training hall. And that's when Maya decided she needed help. So she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She had asked me what I thought she should do. She did that? I can't believe it. Of course, I didn't have all the details. But one thing was perfectly clear.
And that was?
I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free.
Free? What do you mean?
It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived.
So it was Maya who put that lock on there. Yes, but why did you order her to do those 2 things?
If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Fey.
Pearls?
Yes, Pearls didn't properly understand the plan, so all she was trying to do was follow her mother Morgan Fey's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly. So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Fey to kill Maya at all cost.
Yes, it certainly sounds like it was that was the intent all along. Also, I'm just gonna say a side note. Apologies to anyone that's like hoping that I would have kept Mia's voice consistent. That's just gone out the window.
How dare you? I won't forgive this.
Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure.
Yes. Another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say? What do you mean by another?
Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure.
What? How dare you?
11 years ago. The fake kidnapping, your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... After Terry Halls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed.
Shut your mouth. That wasn't my fault. It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman.
And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me. Well, I'm still alive, but... you wound up killing someone else. And as a result, you were sentenced to death. It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny.
You wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face.
And now this. You've messed up again. You let Maya Fey escape. Even though she was right there in front of you.
Mia Fey, Mia Fey, Mia Fey, Mia Fey! You spinster! I was supposed to kill Mia Fey like I swore I would. And if only you hadn't gotten this spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death.
True.
But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me. What? What did you say? Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all of eternity.
I'm just doing one, I'm not doing 30. I remember what you said earlier in the trial. You said that there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead.
What about it?
Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever.
That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that. No hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burnt to a crisp. You're wrong. It can't be. How could I lose to the likes of you?
It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now.
Okay, at least I held it for that long. I don't know how like high-pitched it went. I'm not ready to go.
Blue flames. Blue flames always make me really happy.
Can't you tell? Nick? Sis?
Now then, I assume you are the real Iris?
Yes, I was just rescued from the sacred cavern.
I must say, you and your twin are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne? If you ask me, Your Honor, looks like she went back to the hell she came from. Seems that Misty Fey wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Fey as well as the young Pearl Fey were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. She's gonna get channeled again. Your Honor? Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. Yeah, he is very, mellow about it. He's just like, oh, okay, I just saw a spirit possess someone, come on here, commit to killing someone, multiple people, vanish up into blue flames, but yeah, that's just like another Wednesday here in this courtroom. Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the Korean channeling technique. Hey, isn't that the New Year's issue of Occult? I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench, and in all that time, I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ. Never thought of it that way. At any rate, it's time to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Objection!
But technically we still have two people. It had to have been carried out by two people. Right? You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor. What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot? This trial, it isn't over yet. That's what he means. What? Trite. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony. Huh? Dahlia's testimony?
I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern, and I took out the dagger that I got from the storeroom man. It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. She was stabbed in the back by someone. Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone.
Yes, that's right. The person that was ultimately killed was a spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. Elise Deauxnim, no, Misty Fey. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it. This isn't over. I love how it's still Iris standing there though. Oh yeah, I guess technically we're casting judgment. Yeah, that makes sense. Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there's evidence that proves her innocence. No way. But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony. The prosecution is ready to call our final witness. Final witness? This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Fey. Huh, indeed. Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor? Of course it's alright, Madam Attorney. Very well then, who is this final witness? Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event and will put the final dagger in this case. Someone who saw the murder take place. The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes. You mean Maya? She can't testify after what she's just been through. We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya witness. The prosecution calls Maya The prosecution calls Maya Fey to the witness stand. Very well, but first we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Fey to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial. Hey, Wright, I've got something to say to you, so listen up. What is it? I don't think much of you is a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You somehow managed to squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. You've got some nerve. But that's not going to happen this time. This time, you're going to have to do this by yourself. That's enough. This court is now in recess. I feel like we're gonna have to have some bomb drop about Godot right before we hit the to be continued. We have to.
I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me, but I was missing all day. We didn't even have a chance to talk.
She's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern.
I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on.
Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up at this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you. Why did you help your sister out as much as you did?
Huh?
If you had tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there.
My sister, I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from our father either.
Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it?
Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had come with me to Hazakura Temple.
But if what Dahlia said was right, like, with Dahlia, it very much seems like we are hitting, like, in terms of the nature versus nurture thing, it's very much we're hitting the nature aspect, because it seems like once her pops abandoned Morgan, like, Dahlia was, like, if what she says is correct, and she was the one who persuaded her father to put Iris in the temple, like, she was already kind of down that, like, narcissism, sociopathy, like, path. So I don't think that being in Hazakura Temple would have really helped her.
I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong. She never complained about a thing. That's why I promised that I would help her.
Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago?
Yes, I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But, as usual, I was too cowardly. At the last minute, I ran away. Because of that. Dahlia's stepsister Valerie ended up...
That was the case that wounded Mia so badly.
But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected my sister was involved in a murder.
Some people, you must mean?
Yes, 2 defense attorneys, Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth, Dahlia even tried to kill the person who had unknowingly hid the poison for her. You.
That's right. Iris, there's one more thing that I have to ask you.
Yes, what is it?
On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Deauxnim, was it really you?
Yes, it was me. That night, after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone.
There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away.
I got on the snowmobile and headed for the inner temple. But... The path to the inner temple was cut.
The path to the inner temple was cut off, right?
Exactly.
Can't just leave the body here.
So you've got to do this exactly as I say. Got it? It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff that Mystic Elise always held.
I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff.
Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple on the snowmobile.
But why? Why did you alter the body?
I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty Fey. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the shichishito. I wiped the blood off the staff's blade and left it next to her on the ground.
Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone. The real killer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it.
I see. Defendant?
Yes?
The judge is calling you. He wants to see you in his chambers. He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne.
All right. Well then, I'll see you later. There's something I want to tell you.
Oh no. Iris, just go. You're probably not making out of this alive. Okay. Something she wants to tell me. He's only got eyes for one other person. And it's Edgeworth. So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning.
Phoenix?
Mia? How is Maya doing?
Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. And emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case.
I see. You don't mean she's learned who Elise Deauxnim really was?
Yes, I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew.
But why?
Maya is stronger than you think. I knew she could take it, all of it.
What do you mean by that?
I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer, do you know who it is yet?
Iris wouldn't tell me who called her, but still, I think that just maybe I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in a garden of the inner temple. And the criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means that the real killer knew Dahlia's plan from the very beginning.
And one more thing. The victim was moved to Hazakura Temple side by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. And that means they were stuck on the inner temple side for almost an entire day.
Exactly. So the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day.
Is it Pearl? Is it really Pearl? Like, Pearl's the only one that fits this. I want to blame Larry. Can we just blame Larry, lock him up in prison? That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win or lose.
Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? Who was it that actually killed Misty Fey? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me, all by myself.
Dang it, I was hoping for some, like, giant, like, bomb about, like, Godot. And I guess that'll be next episode. Which will most likely be the finale, unless for some reason this court case ends up taking, like, 3 hours long to wrap up. I highly doubt it. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. We finally sent Dahlia Hawthorne back to hell. And now Maya's going to be on the stand. And everything should be wrapping up, I believe. But hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see y'all next time
for the finale of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. This has been a long time coming, and it's going to be very sad to wrap this up, but hope you all will join me then. Bye.